Welcome to Inspiration Rising. I'm your host, David Trotter, and we're here to inspire you to rise up in your life, love, and leadership. Well, as we transition from one year to the next, there's something incredibly powerful about looking back before we look forward. And I don't mean look back and wish it all hadn't happened, okay? I've been seeing these posts on social media. Maybe you have been one of them. 2019, worst year ever, just act like it never happened. Okay, well, we can't do that. I'm talking about looking back in order to gain perspective on your life, to be honest about what you can learn from and where you were dissatisfied and the things that also went really well. Now, I believe that life dissatisfaction is the result of living an unintentional life. Let me say that again. Life dissatisfaction is the result of living an unintentional life. If you are dissatisfied in the moment, I truly believe it's the result of living unintentional in that moment, that you are allowing thoughts, lies, negative, limiting beliefs into your mind and holding you back. You're being unintentional in your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your actions. And yet, if you want to move toward satisfaction, if you want to experience a rich, meaningful life that you truly long for in 2020, it will be the result of you living a highly intentional life. Now, it starts with taking stock of what you've experienced over the last 365 days, where you're at right now. It starts with that so that you can be intentional about those areas where you're kind of feeling a little funky, where it's not working out so well. All right? Now, I have provided you with a look back worksheet. You can get it. It's a downloadable PDF. It's absolutely free. Download it, print it out, look at it, walk along with me on this PDF as we're walking through these questions over the next few minutes. You can get it at insporising.com/lookback. That's insporising.com/lookback. You can download it, print it out, or follow along on your phone as you listen to me now. I encourage you to print it out so you can actually write your reflections and your thoughts down, all right? That document outlines what I call the Big Seven. These are 7 critical areas of your life, and I'm going to help you walk through each one of those 7 areas and look back over the course of 2019 right now. Now, before we do that, I want to make sure you're clear on what this is and isn't all about, okay? It's not about comparing your life to someone else. It's not about them. This is about you. It's about you looking in the mirror of 2019, celebrating what's great, and being honest about what's not so great. It's not about trying to be perfect. You're not perfect. You may be a perfectionist like me, but we're all learning, right? We're all growing. None of us are perfect or will ever be perfect. It's also not about living up to someone else's expectations. This is not about your spouse, your partner, your kids, your boss, your neighbor, your coworker. It's not about your parents. It's not about your home of origin. It's not about any of those things. You are your own person, okay? Say it with me now. I am my own person. I am responsible for my life. Yes, you are. And lastly, it's not about beating yourself up. That is so easy to do toward the end of the year. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Hey, every day is a fresh start. Today is a fresh start. And so is the next year. 2020 is a fresh start. Every day is. Every year is. So what I want to invite you to do, once again, download the Look Back worksheet so that we can look back over the Big 7 over the next few minutes. Now, I want to let you know ahead of time that I do have a free workshop coming up called Make 2020 Your Best Year Yet. You do not want to miss this. There are 3 free online workshops. They're all live. They're happening in early January 2020, and you can sign up for those at insporising.com/2020. insporising.com/2020. All right, you want to sign up for that because after you look back, you want to be able to look forward. This podcast episode is all about looking back. In that workshop, we're going to be looking forward and how to make 2020 your best year ever. All right, let's jump in now to number 1 of the Big 7. It is life passions. Life passions, strong interests that give you energy and bring your best to the world. Those are your life passions. You may be saying, Dave, I don't even have any life passions. I don't even know what I'm passionate about. All right. That might be something to look at. First question, as you reflect on the past year, what were you truly passionate about in your life? Take a moment and just think about, man, what really got your juices flowing? What you got fired up? Like, well, that was fun. That was exciting. All right. Yes, it could have been that vacation you took, which is awesome. That can be passionate. But I bet there's something inside of you that is passionate, that you are passionate about in this season of life. I'm not talking about your whole life purpose. All right. I'm not even sure we have one of those. Maybe you do. But I believe you are passionate about different things during different seasons of life, and I want to help you find that and live it out. Second question, were you able to live out that passion on a daily basis? If so, how? And if not, why not? Now, for me, I have different passions that I experience from year to year. And one of the things, though, that when I look back over the 25 years of kind of my adulthood after college, the thread that's interwoven throughout those 25 years is a passion to help people just like you get unstuck, clarify your goals, and take your life to the next level. That's why I started Inspiration Rising earlier this year. It's the reason why I've put out 90 episodes. This is episode 90 that I've put out over the last 365 days. It's the reason why I offer the Launch Your Life online course and coaching experience. It's the reason why I offered the Inspiration Rising live podcast event. It's the reason why I do all of those things. This is not my full-time job. I actually have a marketing business where I serve clients through marketing and event management. Inspiration Rising, I do it because it's my passion. Right? What are you doing that is your passion? At the end of those two questions on the look back worksheet, there is a section that says highly dissatisfied to highly satisfied. It's a Likert scale. It's the little dots, right? You circle 1 through 10 there. And so I want to encourage you to circle something. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5 and 6. That's kind of a lame, I got to put them in there because they're numbers, but that's like, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if I'm satisfied, dissatisfied. Come on, get honest real here. 1, 2, 3, 4, very unsatisfied. 7, 8, 9, 10, you're moving toward very satisfied. So you can do that on the look back worksheet. Okay, now we're moving on to number 2. Number 2 of the big 7, romance. An intimate relationship with someone who deeply loves you. Now, you might be single, dating, married, wish you weren't married. Okay, that's a joke. Just kidding. If you're single, in 2019, did you long to be in an intimate relationship, but yet it just wasn't happening? What was it that was holding you back? I want you to take a minute and reflect on that. Now, if you were dating in 2019, do you believe that the person that you are dating, that you actually want to spend the rest of your life with? Do you believe this is that person? Why or why not? Be honest about it, right? Reflect on it. And then see, if you are married, do you sense that you experienced an intimate connection with your spouse in the last year? What is missing from your relationship? Do you sense that you experienced an intimate connection or relationship with your spouse or partner in the past year? All right, I want you to reflect on that. And then, once again, mark along the number scale from very unsatisfied to very satisfied to think about where you are. Are you at a 10 where it's like, man, I am so deeply connected in an intimate relationship, it could not get any better? Or are you kind of at a 2 where it's like, we're hanging out, but it's just not that great? Where are you? All right, number 3, community. Community is your network of friendships that range from very close to mere acquaintances. Who are the people who walked with you through the ups and downs of life in the last year? Do you have someone who you can call when you're feeling down and process about life? Do you have people that care about you that will help you move? Oh, yeah. Now, as you think back on those relationships, which relationships seem to be more based on performance? In other words, if you acted or talked or expressed yourself in a certain way, then the other person would either give you approval or connection or love. Because you may be in relationships in the context of your community, but they might be more performance-based, and you might want to reflect on that. And then once again, as you think about your network of friendships, I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 10, very unsatisfied to very satisfied. Number 4, money and possessions. This is your outlook and management of physical resources. First question, as you think back over the past year, do you feel like you had enough money and stuff? Why or why not? Man, I got a lot of stuff in my house. I love retro stuff. I pick up stuff off the side of the road that people are throwing away that I think it's awesome. And then it ends up in our living room like as a piece of furniture. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I have plenty of stuff. Okay. I also believe that I have access to all the resources I need in order to live out the inspiration that's within me. That is a belief that I have placed inside of me. For whatever reason, over the course of my life, I have always had enough money. Not to say that there haven't been times when I need to cut back expenses or it's been tight, but I have this money mindset that I've always got enough. It's always flowing toward me. I don't know why, but I think it has something to do with my mindset. Second question, would you consider yourself a generous person based on the past year? What are some examples? Take a minute and reflect on your level of generosity, all right? And what are some examples of that? And then, as you have reflected on those 2 questions, I want to invite you once again to rate yourself 1 to 10 from very unsatisfied to very satisfied when it comes to money and possessions. Number 5, creativity and play. This is your ability to enjoy life and express your imagination. How did you express creativity in and through your life over the past 12 months? You know, one of the things that I did, I just mentioned it in the last episode of episode 89 with Mary Brooks, is I planted 2 succulent, I don't even know what to call them, gardens in our yard. They're like 6x10 little plots of patches of area, and I got the succulents off Craigslist, cuttings or whatever. And man, I love doing that. That was super fun. I want to do more of that in the next year. Second question, did playfulness play a role in your life on a regular basis last year? Why or why not? Now, for me, a lot of my playfulness comes in with my wife and my kids, doing fun things, taking little trips, going on little excursions, going to movies, laughing, taking walks on the beach, all of those things. I love that. Okay, what about you? Playfulness is a way to rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. So as you think about that, rating yourself 1 to 10 from very unsatisfied to very satisfied, where are you? Number 6, physical well-being. This is the health of your body and mind. Over the past year, were you physically energized and full of life? Why or why not? I'm going to be honest with you. I gained back some of the 65 pounds that I lost in 2018. Yes, I did. And I am in the process of wanting to get back more energized, more full of life, back to the gym. Already been going here toward the end of 2019, and I want to start eating healthier. I just realized I'm 46, and my body is the one that I've got. I've got 54 years left with this body, so I need to be more healthy and more energetic. That is definitely an area of growth for me in 2020. Second question, in what ways do you seek to live a healthy lifestyle? Take a minute. Think about that. You know, I have for most of my life eaten out of craving. I just crave something, I eat it. I want something, I eat it. I got a tall, lean, frame. I'm not so lean anymore. And I have realized that through a lot of the interviews that I've done with nutritionists over the last year on the podcast, that I have never seen food as a source of nourishment. I saw it as a source of craving satisfaction. So crazy that I have this realization 46 years into this planet that, food is actually a source of nourishment. Whoa. I know. I'm a latecomer. All right, what about you? Physical well-being, the health of your body and mind, rating yourself 1 to 10, very unsatisfied to very satisfied. All right, last one, number 7, spirituality, your connectedness to the divine and awareness of God's presence. I use the word God or divine. You may use something else. Was spirituality and faith a meaningful part of your daily life last year? Why or why not? You know, what's interesting is I actually do communications for 2 churches. That is an active part of my daily life, and I can be doing communications for them, graphic design, web development, videography, photography, all that kind of stuff. And yet, it can be disconnected from spirituality and faith. It can really just turn into more graphic design and a job rather than spirituality and faith. Ironically, isn't that ironic? I'm going to tell you my faith is shifting. You've heard that in the podcast over the last year. I'm really processing some different things. How about you? How are you engaging with faith and spirituality? And it's different for everybody. Second question, how were you intentionally connecting with the divine? And what results do you sense? Are you more peaceful? Do you feel more connected to God? Do you feel like there's a sense of purpose and meaning in your life? All right, and then rate yourself 1 to 10, very satisfied to very unsatisfied in 1 to 10 in spirituality. So on the look back worksheet, I've also created on the last page an area, it's just a blank sheet where you can write a journal entry about the last year as a whole. You can write about where you sense the greatest satisfaction and what areas of life do you sense you need most transformation and growth. Maybe you even want to write down a word or phrase that would describe last year. A lot of people choose a word or phrase to describe the next year. What if you chose a word or phrase to describe the past year? Okay. And I think it might even be powerful if you chose a word that was life-giving, even if it was a brutal year. People 2019 stunk. My whole word for 2019 is stunk. It stinks. Okay, well, what about if you change that word to transformation, growth, learning? All of those are powerful ways to tell the story of last year in a way that it propels you. Rather than walking away from something and saying it's bad or disgusting or you're judging the last year, what if you're able to reframe it? What if you're able to tell a different story and say, last year was a time of growth. I'm thankful for the growth. Last year was a time of pain. I'm thankful for the healing. Last year was a time of stretching. I'm thankful that I'm a different person than I was last year. Notice how that's a different way of feeling and thinking about 2019. Now, if you haven't already, I want to invite you to download the Look Back worksheet. It's at insporising.com/lookback. And after you do that, I want you to walk through each one of the 7 sections of the big 7, the 7 critical areas of your life, and reflect on those. If you want to share something that you've had a breakthrough, a thought process, or anything that you want to share with me, shoot me an email, david@insporising.com, or even text me, 949-335-2925. I want to hear from you. I want to hear how doing the Look Back worksheet made an impact in thinking about your year. And after that, I want to invite you to sign up for the Make 2020 Your Best Year Yet live workshop. I'm doing it 3 times in the month of January, early January. Sign up, insporising.com/2020. The numbers, insporising.com/2020. I'm excited for you. 2020 is your year. You are going to have breakthroughs in this next year. I truly believe it. I'm not just saying that. I'm believing it for you. I'm standing with you, holding space for you, telling you that I'm with you. I'm encouraging you. You are going to have an incredible year. 2019, lots of learnings, good things too, lots of things to celebrate. And 2020 is going to be a year of breakthrough and transformation and growth and abundance in your life. I truly believe that. But do you believe it as well?